What's up YouTube, this is Groudon Empire and I am here for another episode of my Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Rating Battle Spot Single Laddering Series, where I take on the online ladder in singles, which is 3 versus 3, and as an experienced player that got 1900s plus in X and Y, my goal in this series is to provide high level commentary and gameplay for all of us to benefit from and to become better players. If you are hyped and you like this video, please remember to click that like button, as it really shows the support for this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy what you're watching. What's up YouTube? I am back for another episode of this laddering series, and as you guys can clearly see if you guys watched the last episode, I am using a different team this time around. And I'll give you a few moments to go back to the last episode and check that out, so you guys can see that team at least, if not the entire episode. And then I'll start talking about that team and why I changed it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so I gave you time to go. Now I'm just going to talk about the last team and the problems that made me have to change the team. So we just started Season 9. Season 9 started like yesterday. So that means all the people that were at 2,000 and 2,100 plus have all come to 1,500. Players who were, stuck at 1,600 are also at 1,500. Basically, the good players, the bad players, and all who are in between are starting from 1,500, okay? And not only that, but the team I used, I made it to counter those 2,100, 2,000 rating player teams. I didn't make it the way I made my, the way I told you guys to make teams in the team building guide. And the problem that this caused is that while my team can counter team the high ladder teams, it can't function well on its own overall. So it's really not all that good of a team, honestly speaking. So I felt that in a lot of the games there was a lack of offensive presence, and as much as I didn't want to use Trick Room with Mega Mawile, I realized I have to do that to make use of Mega Mawile to the best of its ability, but I also need Pokemon that have that hyper offensive presence as well and can sweep without Trick Room. So on my team you can see I have Mega Salamence, who is there for non-Trick Room, and I have Mega Mawile and Cresselia for Trick Room. Heatran is also good for Trick Room, and outside of Trick Room, Raikou is amazing as the Zapdos counter, and Swampert is my Stealth Rock setter and Shuffler. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to start the battle. Start looking for a battle anyway. And look at my record, guys. We are sitting at a nice and disgusting negative 50%, minus 50%, less than 50% winning ratio. And two reasons. The first reason is that the good and the bad, everyone is starting from 1,500. But that's the first reason. But the main reason is actually the fact that my last team was severely lacking in direct, it was severely lacking in hyper offensive presence, and because of that I was getting wrecked by things that it's better I don't even mention it. It's out of my mind. I didn't record those games because I wanted to get to 1,600 and then record games, but once I started doing that, and I got to 1,580, but then I started losing. Anyway, forget about all of that stuff. Let's look at this team right now. We see that they have okay, I want Stealth Rock. I definitely want Swampert, Stealth Rock stuff. That's gonna be a good time. That's gonna be a really good time. This team does not have a Garchomp. For the first time in, I don't know, 1,000,000 years, I don't have an Azumarill, I don't have a Garchomp, and I don't have a Zapdos on the same exact team. So I'm excited to actually use the Swampert. Alright, so I'm gonna have Swampert. If that is a Charizard Y, I'm scared. So I'd probably want a Salamence for that. Seeing that my opponent has... do I want to use Mawile or do I want to use Mega Salamence? Mega Salamence puts in work, but at the same time it doesn't put in work. So that makes me a bit iffy about using it. But you know what? Raikou's my favorite Pokemon. I want to use Raikou for... I don't know. I'm going to use Mega Salamence. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's do Mega Salamence. I'm on that Salamence hype. I'm on that Mega Salamence hype. And I'm gonna do it. Mega Salamence and Raikou. Let's go. Let's go. Now, the reason I didn't use Mawile for this is because if that's a Charizard Y, it's gonna nuke my Cresselia. So then I can't really switch out into Mawile, and it's better if I have my Salamence, and I mean it's the first time ever I'm using Mega Salamence and Mega Mawile. Okay, to be honest here, now see, this guy is gonna start off with a Charizard Y. That's why I wanted to have my Salamence here. And next turn, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna D-Dance. I'm gonna D-Dance. No, I'm not gonna D-Dance. I'm gonna Mega Evolve, and I'm gonna go for a Double Edge. I predict my opponent to go for a Solar Beam. But yeah, as I was saying, the last team I used in episode 73, I believe, it had no offensive. It had no way of putting on offensive pressure. So basically, anything faster, like it was just so strange. Like I didn't record the games because it was just not. Like I don't mind showing you losses if I feel like you can benefit from them or if they're entertaining. And like I was winning and losing equally. Right now I'm just gonna Mega Evolve and go for the Double Edge. Yeah, there's no reason not to, honestly speaking. He might have Hidden Power Ice. If he has Hidden Power Ice, that's good for my opponent. Good for my opponent for rocking the Hidden Power Ice. But all right. So he doesn't have the Hidden Power Ice. He had Fire Blast. That would have done a good chunk, but it wouldn't have done too much damage. So I'm not. You know, that crit. I mean, that miss. You know, it sucks. He could have gotten a burn, but instead he missed. That really would not have killed me though, so I mean, we'll see how much it really matters at the end of the day. He doesn't have the not Gengar, what the heck? Did I just say Gengar? Of course he doesn't have Gengar. Why the hell would he have a Gengar? He doesn't have a Kangaskhan is what I meant to say. I don't know if this guy is Scarf. So because of that, I'm just going to switch out into Swampert. I don't know if he's Scarfed. That's actually very dangerous. That's why I'm switching out to Swampert. He's going to go for the Outrage. Wow, that did... Wow. Wow. Alright, so should I go for a Scald? Should I go for a Stealth Rock? I don't think there's a point in going for Stealth Rock. I'm just going to go for a Scald. I could potentially burn this guy. And that's really what I want to do. I want to burn this guy. I want to burn this guy really bad, and then next turn I can Earthquake. At least I can see what item it has, right? We'll see what item it has. Okay, it's Lumberry, so it's not Scarf. That's nice to know because now I can KO it with my Double Edge. And he doesn't get burned, so that's cute. That's cute. What I am going to do right now is I'm just going to go... Should I go for a Scald or should I go for... I'm going to go for a Scald right now. I don't know what he's going to go out into or if he's... Okay. He thinks I'm going to switch out, but I'm not. I mean, I don't have a reason to, and I'm going to burn him. He's over-predicting. I just want to burn him, honestly. My opponent shouldn't... See, now my opponent is burned, and I don't think an Outrage is going to kill me, so that was bad on my opponent's part to do what they did. What I'm going to do next turn is I'm just going to go for Stealth Rocks. I'm going to go for Stealth Rock. And my opponent forfeited. Alright, so my opponent didn't play that well, so that's unfortunate for my opponent. Hacks does suck. I don't know how much... I don't know anything. I'm not going to talk about anything, but I did whatever I did to play well. My opponent should have... it's nice that they started off with a Charizard Y, but they should have had a Cresselia with the Lunar Dance support, and they should have had the Garchomp. Like, they overpredicted as well versus the Swampert. They should have just outraged, honestly speaking. I don't know why they didn't, but it's whatever. The last battle not be saved. Alright, so we'll continue. We'll look for the next battle. And again, I do want to apologize to all of you guys that, you know, you want to watch the series, you want to see me lose with a team and explain to you guys why it lost and show you guys it losing. But again, you have to keep in mind, you know, for these videos, if I am watching through the videos myself and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? This is like complete garbage elementary stuff. You know, if a person is playing this bad, why am I even on this channel? You know, that's one thing. And the other thing is if I'm using a team that's blah blah and I'm not playing really, like I'm not playing to the best of my ability, like whenever I upload a video, I want to make sure that that video, I like the video as well. It can be a loss, but if it's funny, if it's you know, if it has something to learn from it, whether it's anyone can get, you know, face the weirdest strategies and get, you know, mad or get annoyed, or funny strategies, or just funny, like just very, like, you know, interesting things, you know, and I lose because of that, sure, I'll show that. And if I lose because of some interesting plays as well, I'll show that too. But if I'm losing because I really feel like my team is holding me back from playing really well, and it's my fault for team building, like I don't want to like record and show you guys because I'm not commentating well, because there's nothing to commentate about. It's just the team is limiting me. So that's why I do apologize to anyone who really wanted to see that team. But yeah, forget about that. Let's look at my opponent's team right now. And I really like Trick Room for this one. I really like Mega Mawile for this one. So what I'm going to do is I might just start off with Mawile. Wait, should I do that? No, I think I should start off with Swampert. Should I start off with Swampert? Yeah, I'm gonna start off with Swampert. If I see a freeze dry incoming my way, I'm just gonna switch out into Mawile. I really feel like this is the kind of team Swampert, Mawile, and Cresselia can put in a lot of work. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. All right, so Swampert, Cresselia, and Mawile. So we are going to use this and see what's cracking. So, and I also apologize for constantly talking about that last team and talking about things that I never recorded. But I want you guys to understand. You know, I wanted to gain like 40-50 points and then record the next 2 games. And I got there and I started recording. I got 1580, which was, you know, for day 1, that's top 10 in the United States, which is really funny. And I started recording, and then I went on a 5-game losing streak. And it's not like they're beneficial. Like, I literally lost because either I was... Like, the last game I lost was because I was just flustered because of the other losses. And the other losses were because my team didn't give me options to do anything. So, that's just an example. And I told you guys at the beginning of the last episode that I made the team to counter high ladder. That does not mean it's a good team, because I didn't use the method I used in my team building guide. And it showed. It showed that it is a counter team, but it's not really a good overall team. And you don't want to ladder with that kind of team unless you're up there. Anyway, right now I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock. He's probably going to go for Knockoff. That's fine. He's going to go for Fake Out. Alright, you can do that. Is he Life Orb or Sash? He's Life Orb, so I don't agree with that play. He could have just knocked my item off. It would have been a good time for my opponent. Instead, whatever the heck is going on is going on. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock, and I'm going to go for a Roar. I just hope he doesn't have Taunt. I mean, I don't think they run Taunt at all, but, you know, things happen. Of course, I'm not going to recover now, which stinks. But what can you do? He's not going to kill me next turn, though, because he knocked my item off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Roar. I'm just going to Roar, right? Yeah, I'm just going to Roar. Set up the Stealth Rock and then start roaring. He's going to Low Kick. That's interesting. I mean, granted, I could have done a lot of damage to this thing by Earthquaking, but it's whatever. Okay, alright, so this thing came out. Interesting stuff. This thing can 1-hit KO me, so I'm afraid. I'm just gonna Earthquake because I am seriously afraid of this thing 1-hit KO. I mean, I know it's gonna kill me off with the Freeze Dry, but what I'm super afraid of is the 1-hit KO move coming my way and destroying my soul. Like, that is extremely scary. Watch, I'm gonna bring my Mawile in. Play Rough isn't gonna OHKO it because it's bulky as all hell. So I'm just gonna Mega Evolve, go for the Play Rough, and I wonder what's gonna happen. I really do. Is he gonna go on to Aegislash? I think that's an Aegislash if I know my Aegislash. That's not an Aegislash. Why would you do that? You can use this guy for later. I mean, obviously I have a Trick Room team, so you can use that for later. You're gonna get Stealth Rock damage on the Lapras, and then you're gonna potentially, if Play Rough lands, you're gonna get KO'd, and it's like, why? Why would you do that? It's not a good play. All right, so guys who are watching this, what you can learn from this, I mean, I still might end up losing, but that's not the point here. The point here is to, you know, commentate on the plays that are happening. This play, my opponent should have. It's interesting that he's going for whatever he's going for right now, but I mean, I can go for a Swords Dance right now, and what's stopping me? You know, like, he could have went for an attacking move, but I mean, I don't know. Like, what's stopping me from a Swords Dance and then knocking off? You know? Like, I can knock off, and it's like, I'm gonna go for a knockoff. He might go for a King Shield again. I don't know. Oh, he's gonna... So he knows he's dead. So, like, what was the point? What was the point of all of that? He's gonna flinch me. No, he's not. He's gonna... I am slower, so, I mean, I Swords Danced just in case he was gonna King Shield. If he Kings Shielded twice in a row, and I got the drop, it wouldn't have mattered. Obviously saw him slower, so, you know, it's whatever. Right now, he might go for a water type attack, but I'm gonna go for a Sucker Punch because I got +2, and he didn't go for Ice Shard, so that's a done Lapras. So this is a shorter episode. I just want 2 battles in every episode, but I do want to talk about this battle though. That battle, my opponent brought the Weavile and the Lapras. That's interesting. That's good. They're actually, Lapras is used in high ladder teams, and I would know because I made a counter team for it. But obviously, that thing, yeah, yeah. All right, so. My opponent should not have done that with the Lapras. They should have just attacked with like a Hydro Pump or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's Assault Vested. It has to be, right? And what my opponent should, or a Cirrus Bear, whatever the heck it might be. I'm not completely sure. But he should have went for a Hydro Pump or a Sheer Cold. The fact that he has 2 Stealth Rock weak Pokemon and he's switching out like that, and especially switching out to Weavile, he should have switched down to Aegislash if anything. But at that point, you know, this Mawile just put in so much work, and you know, Mawile had that pressure because I'm running a maximum offensive Mawile, and I had that Cresselia to support me. The episodes that I didn't record for you guys where I was winning, Mawile wasn't used a single time. It was all Azumarill, and it was honestly not something that I felt was worthwhile to record for you guys. The wins. And the losses, same thing. Those losses weren't anything worthwhile. It's not something I can analyze and be like, if I did this, this was the wrong play, this was the right play. It was nothing like that. It was literally my team was just not good, and my opponent just ended up beating me because they played it well, of course, but then my team just didn't give me any options. That was literally what it was, and that's why I didn't decide to record any of those games, because when I was winning, it just felt stupid. When I was losing, you know, if winning feels stupid, then losing, you know, feels a million times, you know, bad. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to be using this team for the next episode, and, you know, for whatever number of episodes. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm no guarantee I'm going to use this team for the next episode, but if I do, great, and if I don't, you'll see what team I'm using. There was one subscriber who suggested I use Life Orb Weavile, Focus Sash Weavile, and Life Orb Greninja. Maybe I'll use them, maybe not. The way things are going, I might not, but for now I'm using Mega Mawile. We'll see how far I use Mega Mawile for. It has a Raikou on it, so right now I really love this team. We'll see how far it takes us. This was Groudon Empire. Peace out.